Well, rock and roll has never looked better thanks to this legendary photographer.
Yeah, Mark Weiss has taken some of the most memorable photos that helped define one of the rock's most iconic era, the 80s. And he joins us now from his home in New Jersey. Mark, great to have you on the show.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me, David and Belinda.
Pleasure, mate. Look, this is about your book, The Decade, The Rock. This is the decade that I grew up and fell in love with music, including a lot of the photos that you took at that time. Tell us about your book.
It started back when I was 12 years old when I got my first camera mowing someone's lawn, and then started sneaking into concerts, got arrested at a Kiss show, selling them for $1 a piece, and then knocked on the door of Circus Magazine, and the rest is history. They liked me, they liked my photographs, and then I started shooting Van Halen, and then Ozzy, and then anyone that became, you know, legends in the making. I even shot John Bon Jovi when he was like 18 before he was anybody. And,
wow.
And then I ended up doing the Slippery When Wet album cover and Blaze of Glory until today. So it's
incredible.
a fun ride. Been a fun ride.
Yeah, I wanted to take a look at the shot, AC/DC's Angus Young on stage in the 80s, this one here. I mean, these days we have digital cameras, but how hard is it to snap a shot like this when you don't have one?
Well, you know, you're right. You only have 36 chances. Like now you have thousands on the digital. So you really have to like, you know, kind of like wait. You're a hunter. You're looking for that shot. And you just got to grab it and you just got to hope it comes out. You can't look at the back of your camera. Do I got it? Do I not got it? So he was a hard one to catch. I mean, he's running all over the place.
Yeah, he really was. Hey, no, but then when you're shooting someone like Ozzy Osbourne, who now we know is like the sort of doting sort of older guy, is much slower, but back in the day, he was wild. So what were the creative control or, I guess, demands he had?
Actually, he didn't have any. You know, like when I first shot him, I was only 21 years old, and you know, it was the first time I shot him. It was for Circus Magazine for the cover, and he kept asking me like, "Is this okay, Mark? Is this okay?" And he like kept asking me, and he kind of gave me the, you know, the respect as a photographer and gave me the confidence to really hone my craft. So I really owe a lot to him, because here's the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, that was in Black Sabbath, asking me, this punk kid, Mark Weiss, like, is that okay, Mark? Is that okay? And so like, you know, still to this day, we're like family. You know, it's an amazing relationship that I have with Ozzy and his whole family, actually.
That's such a cool story. I mean, you mentioned before that you snapped Bon Jovi for the Slippery When Wet album photo shoot in 1986. I mean, how often were groupies trailing these big bands?
Well, there they are.
Well, right. Well, for me, I'm the photographer, so I'm easy access to the girls that got their way to the front row. So they would always tap me on the shoulder, or the bands would like give me passes to pass over to them. So there was like little techniques we had. But you know, with me, everyone knew me, like these groupies or these girls that wanted to meet the band. So every time like a band would go on tour, I would go on for a week or two at a time. So they would see me, they know me, and I would know them, and I would get them backstage.
Wow.
You're the man in the know.
Different times. Now, how did this photo of Guns N' Roses, we're going to pull it up now, frontman Axl on his, that's a classic mobile phone there. How big is that old analog? How did this come about?
Well, that was at the Sunset Grill. They were after Appetite, after the tour, they were kind of chilling out. Axl has a beard there, and we're just chilling. I just wanted to do, every time I go to LA, I'm from the East Coast, I would like see who's around, who's in town. So I saw Slash at the Rainbow, and I, you know, tried to find out if other band members were there. So they were all in town. So I called their publicist up, and I said, why don't we just do an impromptu shoot? Let's go to the Sunset Grill, and I'll buy him a hamburger, and let's just not make a big deal out of it. And we did. And then at the end of the shoot, Axl's like, the phone rang, and he kind of dialed it, and it was just awesome, because it's like, it was the new technology. I even said, he goes, "Hey, Mark, do you want to make a call?" And I did, so I did.
It's $100 a minute.
Exactly. It wasn't just the rock god.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
That's not the phone, no. It wasn't just the rock gods that you shot. You also shot rock goddesses. I mean, female rocker Joan Jett was ahead of her time. What was it like shooting her?
Well, Joan, I mean, I was a fan when they were in the Runaways, because I was a teenager when she was a teenager in this band, the Runaways. And then when I fell into her presence by a friend of mine that was kind of helping her out at the time, getting her solo career together, it was just the right time in the right place. And she was trying to find herself, and I was trying to find myself. And we kind of like, you know, she gave me the access, and I gave her the photos, and and we kind of built this relationship that we got some great moments of the innocence of her becoming, you know, Joan Jett.
And that's it. Having the relationship, having the trust with these artists, particularly at that time, is so important. And that's what's going to make this book so good. I can't wait to get this book. I'm thinking I need to have this sooner rather than later. The Decade That Rocked. Mark, WEISSGUY Weiss, thank you so much for being on the show.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, wait, here we
Thanks,
go.
Mark.
Come on. Give it to me.
Work it.
Thanks, legend.
Thanks, Mark. Coming up on Today Extra.